Moody's earlier this week put out a report saying essentially that President Trump will damage the economy irreparably, send us into a recession. It was scary stuff. Do we really think this is going to happen, Brian?
Well, first of all, we don't know what's going to happen in the election. But, I mean, Mark Zandi, the economist, did this analysis. You know, Trump keeps saying he wants to make America great again. Mark Zandi essentially said he's going to make America too good to be true. I mean, because Trump says, I'm going to cut taxes across the board. I'm going to spend tons on infrastructure. We're going to solve the deficit. You know, everything's going to be great. Like, he just kind of makes these huge promises. And what he's actually, if you take him at face value, not that he's offered a lot of details, but if you say he's going to do this, this, and this, the debt's going to spiral even more out of control than it is. So it just doesn't really add up. And I think that that's what the report was saying.
Yeah, there were a lot of criticism about this report. I mean, some said that, you mentioned there weren't the details of Trump's policies have not been terribly explicit. And so Moody's made a lot of assumptions on this. Anne, do you think that these assumptions kind of damaged the analysis to begin with? In other words, is this a little bit overcompensating? Are we taking Trump's words too strictly here?
You know, I think it is tough to say what Trump is really going to do. And I think that's, the people who really support him, they say it's not because of his specific policies, it's because I like a man who can make deals. Right. But to that point, you see a lot of people in business who are kind of backing away. I think we saw this with his May FEC report where, he had only 1 million cash on hand, which is pretty crazy. So you see big donors, really keeping him at arm's length. The entire establishment is keeping him.
Well, we'll see if they come in. I mean, at a certain point, rhetoric has to translate into policy. It can't all be rhetoric. I mean, I think that's the thing. Well, if you say, well, they're criticizing his plan, but all the details haven't been fleshed out, well, give us more details.
Right.
Because what you're going around saying on the stump doesn't add up.
Yeah.
So let's see what you're really going to do.